Hello, so today I'm going to show you how to make a more advanced model character. What you do need for this tutorial is you need to know how to use insert edge loop and you know how to extrude. I will still show those demonstrations, but you still might want to know how to use those tools a little bit more before you start this project. So we're going to go ahead and start with a cube. Now again, with more advanced modeling, you're going to want to have a reference to start off with to make your character, but we're going to make a very generic, very basic character today with not a lot of detail, so we're going to be okay. So first things first, we're going to start off with a cube to make a character. I'm going to make a humanoid biped character, and first off, I want to use, again, my tool, Insert Edge Loop. What this tool does is it lets you cut a loop around your object. So I'm going to go ahead and cut one here, and cut one here. I'm going to try to make it as equal and even as possible. We're going to use this later for the legs, and also technically where the neck's going to be positioned. Next, I want to cut where the armpits are going to be, where the arms come out in the chest. So again, you want to kind of try to keep the cube size-wise for what you want the arms. So now we got arm, arm, leg, leg, and neck. So you got to think about in that dimension. So now I've kind of got the lines I need to start. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out of the insert edge loop. So first things first, I'm going to switch to face mode. And I'm going to go start with the body. So we got the chest. I'm going to go ahead and press W. And I'm going to extrude all three faces so I can make like the hips area. So you got like the chest, midsection, and hips. So now I'm going to select the two bottom portions, holding shift. And these are going to be the legs. So I'm going to go ahead and extrude down to where I think the knees should be. And again, this is why reference is key, but I'm not using reference. So that's going to be where the knee is. I'm going to go ahead and extrude again to where the feet are. And I'm going to extrude one more time to where the feet are. Then I'm going to go ahead and go to stay in face mode. I'm going to select the front faces for the feet, and I'm going to hold W. I'm going to go to the move tool, extrude again. So again, holding shift and pulling. So now I got feet. Now you might look at this and be like, oh man, that's really fat. That's okay. So we're going to go back and go into object mode, and we'll press the scale tool, which is R. We'll just squish this down a little bit. And it actually gives us a little bit more perspective on what we need to make the feet maybe a little bit longer. So again, I'm going to go back to face mode, and I'm going to go ahead and select that foot and that foot. I'm just going to press W. I'm not going to hold shift this time. I'm just going to pull. So that looks a little better with the feet. Now, so I got the legs where the knees are. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the arms. So I'm going to hold shift and pull to where the elbow is. And I'm going to hold shift again and pull one more time to where the wrist goes. And I'm actually going to scale this down. So go ahead and press R and scale to where the wrist is. And then I'm going to press W one more time, pull it out to where the hand is. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And again, reference is key, so I can keep this the same size, but I don't have that. I'm just kind of going fast. So I'm going to hold shift, scale it down so where the wrist is going to be. Go ahead, press W, hold shift again, and pull for the hand. Looks about right. I can adjust later. It's okay. So I got the arms, legs, and again, I'm going very fast speed modeling on this. Now we're going to go ahead and do the neck and head. This is where you really got to pay attention on extruding. So I'm going to press R for scale. I want to extrude inward to add more geometry for the neck. So if you hold shift, extrude inward. So we made the new geometry around the neck. We're going to press W, and we're going to extrude up to make the length of the neck. We're going to press R again. And then usually we extrude inward, but this time we're going to do something different. We're going to extrude outward to however big you want the head to be. Press W again and hold shift and pull up. So now you got a nice head, and you might think, well, he looks like a Roblox character or a Lego character. We'll go ahead and press 3, and now you can see what they look like smooth. Now they look a little bit better. So this is where you guys can add a little bit more detail to your character. You can go to face mode and pull out belly, pull out the chest a little bit. You can reshape the head a little bit more, pull the head up there, maybe pull out the face a little bit more. This is where you can select the hips and then pull it down a little bit more if you want the legs to be a little bit shorter. Now, you might look at this character and be like, well, I kind of like him. He's good shape. Let's go ahead and move him down to where he's on the grid. So the grid below, we want to try to get him as lined up as perfectly as possible. Now, we're going to go ahead and add hands onto this character, so fingers. So again, we're going to go back to Mesh Tools. We're going to go to that Insert Edge Loop, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to cut out a thumb, and I'm going to give him 3 fingers. So I'm going to go 1, 2, press Z if you make mistakes. I want them to be about the same. So those actually all cut the same through because, again, it's that loop tool. And I'm going to go ahead and cut a thumb in. Now, again, you got to switch out of this tool, otherwise it's going to keep cutting. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to face mode. I'm going to do the same technique where I press R, extrude inward, W, and pull it out. I'm going to do it one more time so I have a knuckle. With thumbs, you can move it, inward and down, rotate the face. So again, do the same technique. Hold Shift, extrude inward. That way it adds more geometry. Pull it again. So now I got where the knuckles are. So again, same thing. Press R, hold Shift, pull inward. Press W, hold Shift, pull outward. Hold Shift, pull outward. Let me do one more. Again, you can go back and start adding more detail to your hands too. So again, you can click on these faces and pull it so you can get that hand that way you want. You also can go back to Insert Edge Loop, and you can redefine that wrist a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that in, and I'm going to cut it one more time right there. Because what I can do is I can go to face mode and select that wrist I just made. And again, I can scale it down so I make that hand look a little bit more realistic. And again, I can go to the top view, and this hand's pretty skinny from the side point. So again, I can use face mode, select that whole hand, and I can extrude with, and I can still pull it out even more too to stretch it. So make it look a little more realistic. So again, we're going to go to the other side, do the other hand real quick. Again, inward, press W, hold Shift, get the 2 knuckles. Again, rotate that face, press W, push it this way if you want. Try to get that curvature. If the thumb is too far out, like this one's pretty far out, I extruded maybe too far for the thumb. Again, you can select it and move it back, scale it, squish it in to make it more realistic. Just using the scale tool and the face tool, you can really fix that. Again, holding Shift, inward, 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 and again, press W, hold Shift, pull, hold Shift, pull, hold Shift, pull. And again, I want to put that wrist back in one more time. Cut right here. Cut right here, just to be careful. All right, so face mode, switched out of that cut tool. Make sure you select all faces that you want an effect. As you saw, I only did the top. And again, you can come down here and grab the hand and squish it more. Again, you can take the whole hand if it's too thick and squish it. Pull out the palm, push in the palm, pull out the hand. So that's how you do a nice basic character model. Again, if you want to do the face, you can insert edge loop and cut out eyes. You can also take other shapes and shove them in there and combine it. This is how you do a basic shape. The next video, I'm going to show you guys how to rig this really fast so you can pose it. So if you want to make a pose for it or animate it.